our show is not like the craft of opera where you get one fucking chance.
No.
We oftentimes take like 3 shots at the beginning of this.
Yeah, we just fuck it up sometimes. We always either fuck up the date or we somehow forget to do a mic check.
You fuck up the date, dude. That's not even my territory.
That's hard shit.
Oh, yeah.
This is the podcast for November 3rd, 2018.
November 3rd, dude.
Do you know how many times I have fucked up the date or location of an audition?
Are you serious?
It's a weakness. I'm an intelligent person, and like rehearsals or like
So you claim.
or
So
like
you
the
claim.
location of auditions, I fucking nail. But like somehow, I'll wake up on the 28th and it's like, is that shit today? You know?
I did it. No. It's
Fuck,
true.
man.
I did it once. No, it's true. I did do it once with an agent.
Yeah.
They asked me to come on audition. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll come on audition. And then I was out at, I don't know if you guys know, in Germany they have like these little sausage stands where you go and you get, Wurstbuden, I think they call them, right?
Yeah.
And I was there with a couple of colleagues one day, and all of a sudden I get a call, and the agent's like, Herr Peger, are you fucking coming? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And I just forgot that at one point I agreed to go sing for somebody. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't do that today. Yeah.
That's how you do it, man.
Never heard from them again.
No, that's
Never heard from them again.
that's fucking up a contact right there.
Yep. But, whatever.
So it's early right now.
Other
it's like,
contacts come.
It's daylight savings time is different in Germany and America, and I forget that all the fucking time.
I forgot it when I was in America, though, too.
And I had no idea it was yesterday. Thank God for cell phones, but at the moment it's like fucking, I don't know, like 9:30 in the morning, okay? Mike and I have kind of busy weeks this week, so we had to get together early.
It's actually good for us because you fall back. It feels like it doesn't make me feel, it makes me feel like less of an alcoholic because now we are drinking at 10:04, but it feels like we're drinking at 11:04, which isn't
that's
so
okay.
bad.
That's okay.
11 seems to be
That's a lunchtime beer.
Like, anybody can really convince themselves, okay, 11. But 10 o'clock's a different story.
No, it's we're starting off the Baileys and coffees, but we also got a beer. Let's get to it before it gets warm up.
Nice.
This is actually this is like the winner, and everyone's a fucking winner of something. You know what I mean? This is the winner of like the 2017 Germany beer competition or some shit like that. You know this beer? We haven't done this yet, have we?
No.
Braufaktum, right? Craft beer.
Like a
Solea.
brewing factory.
Solea, baby.
What the fuck does that even mean? Well, I'm interested for this.
I don't know, man, but they won. Everyone's won something. Do you have a bottle opener?
I thought you always have a bottle opener,
It's in my
dude.
coat. It's cold down here in the basement. We've never done this in winter before because we started this podcast in spring, and we've never made it through a winter. So we're gonna have to see how we manage those cold winter months.
It's getting chilly out here. Hey, can I get on a non-funny thing for a second?
Mike, this is a very serious podcast.
No, I know, but this one is. I didn't know whether I was going to talk about it, but you know how fucking tragic this shit in my hometown is right now.
Oh shit, that's
Man,
serious. Yes, okay.
That broke my goddamn heart, man. I'll tell you something.
Pittsburgh. Mike's talking about Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the shooting at the synagogue in Pittsburgh. That's my hometown. it's my love. I love my home city, and the fact that I was reading that just completely broke my heart. And I'll tell you something. I'm not a very violent person, right?
Mm.
But if I could get my hands on that motherfucker,
Yeah.
that motherfucker, I would, you just want to take those people and show them what this fuck is what.
Yeah, man.
It makes me angry.
Yeah, no, but the sad thing is no place is above that happening. You know, Pittsburgh's a great place. I sung in Pittsburgh for months, and it's a nice place. I love the people there. I met nobody but nice people there. But yeah, man, unfortunately,
There's shitheads everywhere. There's shitheads fucking everywhere.
And if you learn one thing living abroad, it's that that's true. Germany's a great country.
But
you know?
there are shitheads here too.
There are shitheads in every small city, big city.
But
Yeah.
I'm talking about this shithead
Yeah.
right now. I'm not going to say his name because when people do shit like this is important, and the fucking media should learn from this, right?
Mhm.
Don't show their goddamn faces. Don't say their names. They want it.
Yeah.
They want that notoriety. They want to be known as the martyr, the person that went down for their fucking cause. Well, your fucking cause sucks.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, also...
It makes me... sorry. It's my hometown, everybody. It makes me angry.
the responsibility of that also lies on some of us, you know? Like, we have more power in numbers than we realize when it comes to, like, not giving into news outlets that kind of
That's right.
glorify or sensationalize that shit, you know?
That's
it's not a
right.
reality show. Don't fucking make this some sort of media orgy.
So
Yeah.
anyway, what I wanted to say is fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. SDO stamp of approval. So, did you try this beer? What'd you
Yeah, I
think of it?
did. I liked it.
It's
liked
got aromas from green bananas.
Yeah. Actually, that's funny. Normally, I listen to those things like what the aftertaste is and everything. But I taste green bananas.
I
That's
taste green
true.
bananas. It's nothing licking the label of a green banana, baby. That's good. That's good
I
shit.
taste green Chiquita. That's crazy shit. How do your intercostals feel, dude?
Man, it's like I have good days and bad days. Like yesterday was fucking solid. I didn't even take any pain pills. You know what I mean? Like because I forgot. You know?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when you're healthy, you don't fucking think about it. You know what I mean? And then when you're sick, all you think about every minute of every day is having your health back. And when it comes back, you don't even realize it. You just immediately take it for granted again.
Right.
Like I didn't get up yesterday and I was not like, oh my God, I can finally breathe. You know? I was just like, man, I better make some fucking coffee. You immediately forget your fucking health when you have
Better
it.
sing today as hard as I can and work out today as hard as I fucking can.
Yeah, I went to the
then
gym.
boom.
I was like singing in the car, you know? Can I sing a high C? You know, I was doing all this shit, man.
What about a high D? I did it.
Right. Oh, God. Yeah, this beer's okay, man. It's all right. So,
Drinks at the same time. Love it.
Mike and I got a bone to pick with a lot of you fuckers out there, and we need to do some...
It's a general bone, though. It's not. I mean, people were doing this, but this is. Get into it.
All right. Look, we're going to get into the meat of the podcast today, but there's something happening in the opera world that we need to define. Sometimes definitions arise, and somebody's got to define this shit, okay? And when people write about us in... people write about us in fan mail, but also like we get some articles written about us in magazines, stuff like that. And sometimes people start to throw around the word OperaBro. Right? OperaBro. And I got mixed feelings about that.
And it's almost always derogatory. First off,
it's not always, you know. Sometimes it's a little bit of the Super Mario Bro color.
that's right. That's right. Some people use it with affection, but here's what bothers me.
Right.
Here's what bothers me about it. Right.
Right.
I've never been called a bro in my fucking life.
No.
I am not that. Most of these people that are called bros would look at me and like, oh, you sing opera?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of douchebag sings opera? Right? I'm not a fucking bro. I've never been part of like any sort of group that people call bro-ish or anything.
Right.
I don't know. It's a weird thing that people then. They hear the way you and I talk with one another,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden they want to take us and put us in some kind of fucking box.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Why do people have to define? Why do people have to take you and put you in this little fucking pigeonhole? The thing that bothers me about that is it's just straight collectivism. It's saying you are, because of my perception of you, a member of this group.
Yeah.
Right? It's actually collectivism at its base is where racism comes from. It seriously is that, okay, the thing that's important about you that I see is your skin color. And it's not.
Yeah.
That is not what makes somebody have value.
Yeah. No, man, it's like, because first off, in today's like not political, but like social environment or whatever the fuck you want to call it, like bro kind of has the connotation of like these frat boy people that are like doing hazings and this type of shit, you know?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that call us that, they mean it in that derogatory way.
Right. And
And the thing is
I don't
like,
take offense because you can call us whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
no, you can call us whatever the fuck you want, but it's an interesting point because it is kind of the whole principle that our podcast is built upon, in this that you should be able to talk and enjoy opera how you want to.
Yeah, no
And
matter
this
what
podcast-
you say
and
or
this
how you
podcast
say
is
it.
how Mike and I enjoy opera. This is an authentic look into how Mike and I
That's
discuss and enjoy opera, and that's all this fucking is.
Look,
okay?
I mean,
and you should be able to enjoy it how you want to. You want to fucking like, you know, dress up and watch opera and have a fucking Verdi opera night. I would never do that. I think that's fucking terrible. But if you want to do it, more power to you.
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
love you
exactly.
for it.
You
If you
should
want to have
enjoy
an
it the way you
opera-themed fucking flip cup game, you know, opera drinking games, do it, man.
absolutely.
You should all be allowed to enjoy opera how you want.
I just don't. I object somehow to the idea because there were some things that were written about us that are very complimentary, right?
Yeah.
They're complimentary, and I'm proud of the fact that these people wrote about us,
Right.
and grateful
Yeah.
that they did, and I'm thank you for doing it. But the thing about it is that there was this tone of, well, you have to get past the way they speak about it, and my whole
Then don't fucking listen. You know how many goddamn opera podcasts are out there, man? Just fucking find another one. This is me and Mike doing it how we do it.
I mean, it hurt me a little bit. It didn't hurt me. Fuck it, you can't hurt me. But the deal about it it was almost as if I felt like we have to apologize for the way we're talking about it.
No, and this whole
And that's exactly the point of what we're doing. We don't want to fucking apologize
no,
for it.
and I sometimes get the vibe that in the opera world, there's this whole feeling of like, you can like opera, and we want you to like opera, but you better fucking like it like we like opera.
Right.
You know what I mean? You need to enjoy this art form like we enjoy it.
Right.
You know, respect
Absolutely.
it, sit down, wear the fucking right clothes, follow the procedure, fucking under his eye. You know what I mean?
Under his eye.
I never finished that show, man. That was a good show, but
Dude, I don't know. I don't know if
The Handmaiden, if nobody
we did,
knows
I
the
think
reference.
2. I think we did 2 seasons.
Seasons. I did like 4 episodes, man.
Oh, dude, you got to keep going.
Nah,
it's good.
man.
It's worth it.
I watched Sabrina, and that shit got bad fast, man.
Oh, Sabrina, dude. Why would you do that?
Watch the first 3 episodes. It's fucking great. And then,
told my wife-
it's just a goddamn masterclass in fucking bad writing, dude.
Well, no, it's not only that. It's so clearly if you guys
Pandering,
don't
man.
know,
It's like...
No, wait. It is, of course, pandering, right? But for me, whenever I notice that the target group is obviously somebody else than me, I mean, this is high school witchcraft.
Yeah.
I cannot relate to that shit anymore. I'm sorry. I cannot. Like when 2 high school students are fucking passing notes and the one doesn't respond and somebody gets pissed off about it. I'm like, I don't have any connection to this anymore. Sorry. And the fact that you're witches makes it a little worse.
Yeah, totally. I know what you mean. I think that's just going to happen. Mike and I are down in the fucking basement. These lights keep flickering on and off, man.
I don't get it, dude.
It's
What?
Halloween, man.
It's
It's Halloween week.
seriously Halloween.
No, but to get back to our OperaBro thing, we're not gonna go on and on about it. But like, people in opera, there's a lot of people that they create things with the idea that like we're gonna make opera cool. You know what I mean? People throw that around a lot, and Mike and I have never said that. Mike and I are literally just putting ourselves out there, and we have no intentions of like making it cool. We just, am I wrong?
No. The thing about it is it's the same principle in acting.
Yeah.
When you say, I want to make this some way.
Yeah.
Right? I want to make it seem like this.
Mm-hmm.
When you make your intention
Yeah.
really important, then it seems like you can't really do it well.
No.
You know? I mean, if that's the I don't know. It's hard to describe, right?
Well, I mean,
Don't make it cool. Don't say you want to make it cool. Just make it cool.
Well, and beyond
making it sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Making it cool involves you just being honest.
Yeah.
Honesty is so fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, these things like confidence and honesty and authenticity are so closely related. But
Definitely.
the thing is, if you want to make opera cool, then what you're also talking about is making a change. And if people start and if you're going to fucking cut people off at the way they fucking enjoy opera, right?
Yeah.
Not even the way they sing or perform opera, but it's like, well, you lift fucking weights in your free time? Fuck you, man.
Right.
You're going to cut people off there.
Right.
You're killing the art form, man. You're part of the people that are killing this thing. You're not even going to let us fucking enjoy it how we want to without putting us into some sort of box that's excluding us from the rest of you.
Yeah,
you know what I
dude.
mean? You can call us whatever the fuck you want.
I mean,
but just be careful with doing that. If somebody likes opera, you should accept them with open arms, however they want to enjoy it. And we are not saying the way Mike and I do it is the way. We're saying that everything should be allowed.
Exactly. And
The Met Gala all the way to fucking
Sex,
Soggy
Drugs, and
Waffle.
Opera.
Yeah, you know?
I mean, the thing about it is then what you send out to people is, all right, yeah, no, this is good. You just have to get past this unorthodox thing, right? Making it seem like the unorthodox thing is somehow not right,
Yeah.
which is the exact point
Yeah.
of our fucking podcast.
Okay.
The exact point of it.
I'm all fucking heated up.
I
Mike
mean,
and I, we got no video today,
I
but
wanna
we're
make it-
pointing at each other. We're fucking throwing gestures at each
I
other.
want to make it perfectly clear, though.
Yeah.
I want to make this really totally clear.
Okay.
What this guy... There's one thing that set me off specifically. I'm just going to say that, right?
Okay.
There was one thing that set me off specifically, and I had mixed feelings about it because it was a nice review. It was good, but it had this icing layer of you got to get past their vibe. And I just thought,
We call that a
Man,
backhanded compliment. Where I'm
yeah,
from.
I mean, it's. I thought to myself, what if I said the same thing to? I don't want to say that about like public radio. I like public radio, but you got to get past the pretentious vibe. No, maybe you just like the pretentious vibe. Maybe you like that stuff. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's perfectly. Every way of talking about it is different and equally good. And I don't care whether you talk about it that way. We're just talking about it this way, which is equally as good as any other way.
Well, and something Mike and I talk weekly about is because when people start writing in critiques and stuff like that, that's the same thing with singing. If you want to bring it around to being a singer, it's very hard not to move in the direction of what people are asking from you. This is something I struggled with at the end of my 20s, hard with my singing, right? You're a young dramatic. You need to be more lyric. You need to sing bigger. Your high notes need to be darker, lighter, blah, blah, blah. Like, and you chase what people want, and you end up fucking getting nowhere.
You end up not knowing who you are anymore.
And Mike and I talk all the time about, like, we're going to continue to do this how we want, no matter who fucking comes against us. Because
that's right.
the bigger this thing gets, the more, and we have no intentions of it getting huge, we're just fucking doing it.
Right.
But if people start to rain down on us, then fuck them.
Yeah.
Then fuck them.
I would rather quit doing the podcast altogether.
I would rather
than
keep
change.
doing it and fucking work at a car wash, you know?
No, I mean I would rather quit than change because other people want me to change.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we're doing it this way,
okay.
people.
I don't want to dwell on it, man. Mike and I are heated up about that, but just opera is amazing art form. It's incredible. Yeah, but everybody wants to thrive and stay alive.
That's right.
And statistics say audiences are dwindling and dying and stuff like that. And everybody's like, when's the next change in opera coming? What's the direction we're going? And everybody has these plans, but we might not all know the best way for opera to go, but I can definitely tell you some ways it shouldn't fucking go. And fucking cannibalism and eating people that enjoy the art form because they don't like it how you like it.
Yeah.
You know? Because honestly, even because I get drunk at parties and I'll talk shit about Pol Pots or whatever sometimes, but even that shit, these popra singers, even if you start shitting on those people too much, those are gateway drugs, man.
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
that get into because I started singing opera pretty late, and I listened to Josh Groban before, and I remember at a point in my life when I was like 17 years old, where I swear to God I could not tell the difference between Josh Groban and Pavarotti's voice.
That's right.
I really couldn't. I downloaded on like fucking LimeWire or something. I pirated Pavarotti singing Ave Maria, and it was Josh Groban. And I listened to that shit for maybe 2 weeks until one day I was like,
this isn't Pavarotti.
This might not be Pavarotti. Now, like Josh Groban would breathe, I'm like, it's not Pavarotti. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what they're hearing, so don't shit on people too early. All right?
Yeah, the gateway drug analogy is really good because, if you don't know what you're getting into, right? If somebody doesn't know what they're getting into, they're gonna find who they find. Period. Right. So let's say they hear Pol Pot's, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, he sang Nessun Dorma, and it was a big hit, a big international hit.
Do you know how many?
The likelihood that the next person they click on singing Nessun Dorma is Pavarotti is huge. And I hope they do.
Yeah.
Because when they do, they might hear. So Pol Pot's, more power to him, out there. He took advantage of his moment in the sun, and he made a fortune.
Sure.
Awesome, dude.
Good.
Fucking love it.
Yeah.
They might, from his influence, then be exposed to maybe the greatest opera singer who's ever lived.
I guarantee they did. You could look at Google Analytics and see it. Mike's getting so fired up, he's breaking shit.
I broke this pen, dude.
But I do want to say this. I don't want to be hypocritical because we have made memes shitting on opera singers before. But the thing is, know your fucking audience. Yeah, Mike and I getting drunk and talking. I know Mike knows opera. I know Mike can hear the difference. Mike is already deep into Wagner and weird modern shit. I don't have to worry about scaring him away from the art form. Right. So I can shit on Josh Groban if I want, but I could also shit on Wagner if I wanted.
Yeah,
it's not going to scare Mike away. But when you're at a fucking party and someone says, "Oh, I love opera. I love Phantom of the Opera," don't shit on that person that doesn't know the difference.
That's a really
know
good thing
your audience
because that is the example. What's your favorite opera? Oh, Phantom of the Opera, and then every opera singer in the world rolls their eyes collectively, right?
Yeah.
Okay, understand it.
Right.
Understand it. You're dealing with somebody at a completely different level of knowledge of your art form, right?
Yeah.
But But maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't just be like, oh, you fucking don't know. You don't even fucking know. Maybe you should say, oh, yeah, it's a cool piece. It is a cool piece because it is world fucking renowned. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
You should say, they in the piece, they were singing. They were all opera singers, and what they're doing is singing these pieces.
Yeah.
This one piece, this Phantom of the Opera, was inspired basically by these things.
Right.
And then you just lead them like
Or
a
inch 'em,
fucking shepherd.
it's like what's that game? Like everybody's
fucking lead them.
everyone's
That was good.
right.
Do it again.
Right.
Holy shit. Oh, you know what I could do now?
If you're gonna do the goat, you're gonna do it with the music, man. Don't do it with that.
Okay.
You know that game? Like everyone's connected to Kevin Bacon through like 3 people or whatever, 5 people.
6 degrees of
Kevin Bacon, some shit like that. Honestly, you could do the same with opera.
50 Shades of Kevin Bacon.
Every song is connected to an opera piece in like 5 pieces. You know what I mean? Like Phantom of the Opera, you go to Candide. Then you got to go from Candide to like what's the musical that's more operatic then like what's the one with If I Loved You? Carousel, right?
Yeah.
So you go Phantom of the Opera, Candide, Carousel, then you're basically into operetta. You give them Fledermaus, you're in the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
You could do that like with every pop song. You go from this pop song to Celine Dion to Whitney Houston to this. I bet you could get to an opera art form 5 songs from whatever someone says. Think of it more like that.
Yeah, but
guide them in the way, but don't be like, oh, you want to know opera? Well, let me show you this Wagner piece.
Or don't say like,
you're gonna ruin it forever for them.
Excuse me, that's not really an opera. I mean, Phantom of the Opera is not really an opera. I mean, don't fucking.
No, and the thing is also, you got to think about. Don't call it opera. Think about it like something else, like movies, right? Someone says, "Oh, I really loved, some fucking mainstream Hollywood movie. I really loved Lord of the Rings," and you're like, "Oh, you know what? That's not really a movie. Let me show you this Humphrey Bogart movie from the '40s." Like, don't do that shit. You're gonna make them never want to watch the fucking movie again. Like, just inch them in the right direction.
Full disclosure, I used to do this.
Yeah, sure, we all did. We all did, man. I did too. I feel bad about it, and that's where I've learned. I go to sleep at night. I'm embarrassed. I kick the bed sheet covers, right?
Yeah, because honestly, the thing about it, I remember it with my aunt, right?
Yeah.
She came to me.
I did it to my uncle, yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. So look, she came to me, and she's not involved in the arts at all. She's not involved in opera, right? She wants to connect with me. She knows I'm in the arts. She knows I'm in opera, right?
Yeah.
So she comes to me. And she's like, oh, man, I heard this, and I thought of Michael. Wouldn't it be cool to connect with Michael? That's what you're feeling when you do something like this.
Yeah.
And then I remember doing it, and I remember shitting on her for it.
Yeah.
Being like, ugh.
And also,
Jackie Ivanko is not and I'm the one who made that meme. And by the way, Jackie Ivanko's a Pittsburgh girl also.
Yeah, that's for other opera singers, right? It's an inside joke.
Right, that's an
but no, I know
wait, one second. I felt so looking back on it, reflecting on it, I felt so fucking bad because I'm like, what a dick.
Well, also the thing is
this is someone who was reaching out to me.
Yeah, she didn't know what she was playing with, right?
Right.
And we're all such experts in music because you actually have to study music so much to get nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're all very educated in music compared to a normal person.
Yeah.
We forget that sometimes. But you guys also think like if you have friends in other industries, you probably sound like as much of an asshole when you try to talk about Excel or Google Analytics.
Not probably. You definitely sound like
we got friends who are bankers and shit like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, diversify your investment portfolio. He's like,
shut the fuck
you're not even
up.
using that correctly. Like I had this experience. I was talking to some banker guy and I used some like buzzwords that I remember from like 5 years ago. And he's like, dude, those are such old school trends. Like nobody does that. Today it's all about this type of investing.
You're like, I got some money out of the ATM and I bought some furries to
I was talking about like cryptocurrency or some shit, and he's like, what are you even saying, man? He's like, that's so like 10 years ago. People are, and I can't even remember what he said, but he talked about some sort of investing that had to do with like agriculture and this shit. I was like, oh, apparently I'm a fucking idiot. And I felt in that moment what those people must feel like. So fucking think about how often in your life you're a fucking asshole, all right?
That's right.
And just tuck your dick back. That's not a saying, but it should be a saying.
What does that mean? I like that saying, though. Does that mean...
Tuck your dick back.
Well, it doesn't really make any sense, but did you mean it to mean have some humility?
Yeah, because if you're like, because honestly, the thought process.
Maybe it makes sense. Like you're showing your dick. Tuck that shit back.
Well, yeah, because like the thought process I had is I went to the saunas out here are nude, right? And I went to the one, and there was this dude, and the saunas here, okay, they're naked, but you have to also understand that like the restaurants are naked. Like you're in a bar. I went to the one nearby, and like you're like at the bar, dick out, like, could I have
the sauna.
a Hefeweizen? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like people like sitting in the restaurant, like cutting steak, like balls on a leather chair.
Relatively
you know what I mean?
rare, though. That's relatively rare.
Yeah, but this
dude.
one had it, and this dude was at the bar, like like leaning on the bar, elbow on the bar, like back to the bar, just full boner. Just like look at this, right?
That's awful.
And
dude.
I wanted to be like, hey man, tuck your dick back, all right? Just tuck that down. So that's what it means, all right? So put it on a shirt, spread it out there.
Man, I don't know if I can keep drinking this beer. Thinking of
You get a little buzzed? Did you eat breakfast?
No, it's not that. It's thinking about this guy sitting drinking a beer with a full boner in front of everybody.
And he had the most needle dick.
Oh, dude. Okay. All right,
let's move on. Let's move on to some fan mail, all right?
Dude,
so listen, call us what you want, okay?
We're looking,
But just think about what you're doing in the business, and think about the way to grow opera is not make it fucking cool and like let's add some fire. The way to grow it is to fucking stop making it so goddamn exclusive.
Yeah, dude.
Let everybody
fan mail.
in.
Come on, let's go.
All right. Hold on, I gotta find it. You wearing a scarf, man?
It's fucking cold down here.
I love you, Mike, but sometimes you can get real, Mr. Rogers.
Dude, I love Mr. Rogers. Also a Pittsburgh boy.
Is that movie out yet?
No, the one with Tom Hanks? No. Did you hear about the guy dying on set?
No, man.
One of the workers.
You're bringing us down today.
One of the workers on set was, I guess they were partying or something.
Yeah.
And fell off a fucking roof.
Jesus
Died.
Christ, man. That's like the.
I'm making it real dark in here. Hello, darkness, my old friend. You changed the fucking harmony.
Did I?
Do it one more time.
Dog. Hello,
What is it? Hello,
okay.
darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. You're too high, dude.
Am I?
Yeah, you're
Hello,
fucking
darkness,
great.
my old friend.
It's fucking weird.
Is that
We
wrong?
We fucked it up.
Man, I haven't listened to who sang that.
Garfunkel.
Simon Garfunkel. I haven't heard that song in forever, man.
Garfunkel.
All right, quit distracting me. Hey guys, I'm an opera fan from Spokane, Washington.
Opera fan.
Opera fan from Spokane, Washington.
Fred Drescher. I'm an opera fan.
Is that really how nasal laugh you can get, man?
No, I think I. Oh my God, you're way better at that.
Yeah, man.
That's your fucking.
That's
goat
basically the
sometimes.
goat. Like the goat's like. You just gotta.
I can't do that.
You gotta
I
put it
can't
forward,
quite
man.
do it. I can't
All
quite
right,
do it.
now shut the fuck up and let me read this. I'm taking this away from you. Oh, God, Mike's a fucking fidgeter. Hey, guys, I'm an opera fan from Spokane, Washington. I've had a running list of random feedback comments since I started listening a few weeks ago. But I want to get
keep
first
a list of
through all the
shit I want
episodes
to
first.
say about you guys.
Mike and I, we recorded these drunk podcasts once. I have to stop here. And we can never put them on the air because we got absolutely obliterated, fucking hammered. And they're just, we thought they were good, but they're not.
Wait, we called these segments
Late night podcasts or
after
after
late
hours.
night,
I can't
after
remember.
hours, something like that.
They were too intense, man. Like we couldn't even take a piece of
I
it.
want you to put on though where we arm wrestled.
Yeah, we did arm wrestle, but like the point is, in one of the podcasts you'll never hear it, but we talked about Spokane, Washington. I don't know if you remember, Mike.
Oh yeah, I remember.
We talked about it a lot because Thomas Hampson's from there.
God.
But also I lived in Spokane for a while. Spookaloo. So anyway, so this girl's from Spokane, Washington. All right, so I know your city. Number one. This is her list of critiques, by the way.
Okay.
Number one, thank God you figured out the volume shit from episodes 1 through 3. I wanted to fling my phone into traffic listening to that. All right. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Like, look, sometimes you have to just start something before you're
That's
fucking ready to do
fucking
well.
Dangerous. Don't throw your phone into fucking traffic. We would be
Yeah, how
responsible
irresponsible
for
is
that shit, man.
Listen, no, we actually haven't gotten much
Disclaimer.
negative stuff, but in the beginning, we were getting like an email every day,
We got
like,
hate mail.
can you guys just fucking stop shouting
can
or
you-
fix your fucking
Can
volume?
you guys fucking please not be completely illiterate with this technical shit?
At the
Because we
beginning, you have to
were.
understand, like, well, but also we didn't have what we needed. Like in the beginning, we were just plugging microphones into a computer. Like
Hoping that shit would work.
like I had to buy a digital compressor. It wasn't expensive, but
Right.
like I had to purchase that, you know. And anyway, okay, so that's number one. So what does she
That's
got?
why you guys should think about donating to SDAO.
Shut up.
If you can.
Give us your money. All right, you say
Subtext. We should write. You know what we should do? You know how like in a movie they'll take out one frame.
the subliminal messaging.
Yeah, we
subliminal messaging.
We should just under this under this, donate, SAO, donate.
I can try it. I can try it.
SAO,
Okay.
SAO. See if
So-
we can get people to like fucking brainwash people to fucking do it.
Yeah, let me try it here, okay?
We're poor.
You said there's no such donate things as the North accent. I donate. I agree. U.S. I can't. It
What
throws.
the fuck did you do?
I'm slipping donate in, okay?
That's too hard, dude. It was like Kevin
It was like the other donate day when I was walking here and I donate.
On SNL used to have the subliminal guy.
The subliminal guy.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Number 2.
Sorry, Spokane.
Okay, so this is Spookaloo 22. That's not her name. You said there's no such I think she means thing. You said there's no such thing as a Northwest accent. I disagree. Us Northwesterners say pink and bank instead of pink and bank.
Do you know what you...
Jared has some weird German accent now, so I doubt he still does it. Just something I've noticed. All right. I got a rebuttal here.
Go ahead.
I actually have heard this a lot lately. People say I have an accent now. I talked to somebody on the phone that I haven't talked to in like 5 years, and they're like, "What is with your accent now? Do I have a fucking accent? I'm pretty sure I don't."
I don't know. Maybe you do.
The only things I've noticed in my speaking is I've gotten rid of the idioms and expressions I use because people don't fucking understand them if you're speaking English to them, or like a lot of slang and stuff like that. I use more like textbook verbs. You know what I mean?
I would say some Dinglishy stuff comes in. Maybe she more means the way you use English instead of the actual. I mean, the grammatically what you say instead of your actual accent.
That's something I've noticed is people will interpret like syntax or word choice as accents.
That's
sometimes.
right, and it's not necessarily accent. It's if I just randomly put a verb at the end of a sentence. If randomly at the end of a sentence of a verb put, then I'm Deutschifying.
I've noticed it with things like English. I would say like, well, you of course can't do that. But I will say something now like, well, you can't of course do that.
Yeah.
I'll put it like where the Germans would put it sometimes. And it's subtle. Anyway, okay. So pink bank. Say those words.
Pink bank.
Say Milch auf English.
Of English?
Yeah.
Milk.
I
often Pittsburghers though will do like a W kind of milk.
But see, because the big argument, some people say milk and some people say milk.
Milk. No, I don't say milk. I say milk.
Milk. I say milk.
You with an I.
Milk.
And what's north? Say it again.
Milk.
Yeah, you say an I.
What do you say?
I say I also.
Okay.
But I do I and sometimes W, like
say
milk.
Say pink.
Milk. Pink.
Say bank.
Bank.
And she says pink and bank.
Well,
anyway.
That's just fucking
All right.
stupid.
Number 3. Love the casting segments and the Carmen and Tosca episodes. Okay. She wrote something I can't read, but I'll read it to you later. All right.
Okay.
She said, "Don't share this on the air."
Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, I've gotten mixed reviews about the casting.
The Hollywood
reviews.
casting.
Yeah, mixed reviews. Somebody told me I like it. It's enough of it.
Really, I have only heard that people fucking love it, which is funny because I actually don't that much. I think it's kind of boring, man. But
what I want to do is I want to give it a little bit of a break. We're gonna reserve the casting for when we do an opera. So we've done Tosca and we've done Carmen so far, where we talk specifically about an opera for an entire podcast. We're going to reserve the casting now for those. And as a matter of fact, the things we've already cast, we're going to go back and do the operas for those first. I think that's a good idea, right?
Know, but yeah, you're right. We're developing segments, and the segments go with certain things we're finding. You know what I mean? Like we're going to start talking about composers soon, and the text talk is good for that. We got the USDA University, so we're adding these segments. So
what SDAO
University, man, I put so much. This is like 80% Bailey's with like a splash of espresso. So okay, yes, as we create more segments, you'll hear these less, right? Okay, she also liked the SDAO University segment and appreciated the follow-up on naming some good Carmens. You tend to be tenor-heavy in your discussions.
Definitely.
That's true. Even me.
Except I talk about Bryn Terfel all the time.
Terfel.
Hey, very good. And I think it's, I think I remember reading that it's instead of an F, it's more of a V.
Terfel.
I don't know. I don't know one Welsh person personally. By the way,
I'm Chert in Germany.
A Chert. By the way, before you go on, I've talked about her before in the podcast, Joelle Harvey, a friend of mine who's having this big career, right?
Right.
She posted a picture the other day on Facebook of her singing at a concert where on stage somehow were Dame Judi Dench and Kenneth Branagh, and she's standing next to the one and only Bryn Terfel.
Bryn Terfel.
And she was talking about like, and by the way, they were singing for like the Prince or something like that of England, right? And she's like, I sang for royalty. I'm like, you're standing next to fucking royalty. He's royalty. Blah, 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 blah. I want that man
Is he a
to
Syriac?
take his voice and create a velvety, chocolatey Welsh cradle, sonic cradle for me to lie in.
Like a pillow that when you lay on. That
No,
he's
I
just
mean
in your ear,
an
like,
entire
"Come here,
enveloping.
alive."
Yeah, exactly. I
Okay.
can't do it. I mean, I cannot. If I could do an impression of Bryn Terfel, I would just sing that way.
Yeah, that's the
I
thing.
wouldn't do an impression anymore.
You
I
know,
would
you
just
you
do
got something
that.
special when people can't do an impression of your voice.
Right.
You know. All right, we're gonna get through this. I'm not a singer, just a fan, and we don't get much opera here in the inland Northwest. It's nice just listening to people my age talk about something I'm passionate about, and also beer. I lived in Seattle. I grew up in Seattle. In Seattle, you have like 10 or 11 of these like private opera companies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But out in Spokane, I'm trying to think if I can give her a tip. No, actually, where you are, there's not a lot of opera. So if you can make it out to Seattle, or go to the colleges. There's some good colleges out in the Eastern Washington area. Go see their productions. But yeah, it's tough out there. You're in a tough area.
I mean, wait. Yeah. How close is Spokane to Seattle?
Oh, it's the other side of the state. It's the other side of the mountain.
Yeah,
range.
but
It's like a 6-hour drive.
Are you serious? That sucks.
It's a big state,
Seattle
man.
Opera's great.
Well, and she's near. You're kind of near Boise, but yeah, people don't want to have to travel and get a hotel to see a fucking opera. You know
No,
what I mean?
definitely not.
Spokane, you're in a tough area. She wrote back, and she also she said she checked out Mike's Johnny I Hardly Knew Ya. You remember we talked about that in one episode. There's a lot of awesome Irish anti-war folk music out there. My favorite is Green Fields of France. Best version is by the Furies.
I think that I don't know how you. It's not furries.
We gotta ask the fucking
thing where
Ava.
people. No, it was a great song. Thanks for the suggestion. People should check it out. Yeah, Green Fields of France, right?
I don't. Man,
That's what it was.
Close my phone. Yeah,
It was great. Thank you for the suggestion. Honestly, I listened to it and cried myself in sadness. I cried in sadness the whole time. It was beautiful. Really beautiful.
Cry for happiness sometimes.
Hey, we need the other beer. Can you go get it? Or I'll get it. I'll get it.
Yeah, you get it.
You vamp, dude.
I'm not gonna vamp. I'm just gonna move on here. Okay, so.
Well, you just have to do it without me because I'm getting beer.
So we did the Halloween episode on Wednesday, and then you're hearing this on Saturday. 2 weeks ago in episode 15, we talked about the aging voice. And we asked some people to write in about their experiences with maybe fach change. And we had a guy write in, so I just want to share it with you because I found it interesting. So he said he switched about 3 years ago, and it was always debatable whether or not he'd stay as a baritone or move up to tenor. As I got older, the voice just started filling out more and more in the top, and it got harder to carry in the middle, which I found interesting because when baritones think about going to tenors, or if I think about singing tenor rep, I think about the high notes. But actually, I guess a bigger indicator is what's your middle doing, right?
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean? Because
Wait, start at the. I didn't hear the first part. I listened. I could only hear it in the second part.
He said he switched fach about 3 years ago, and it was always debatable whether or not to say it as baritone. But as he got older, the high notes filled out, and then it got more difficult to carry in the middle. And baritones
carry in the middle, really?
Yeah, it's true though. Because like, I think if you're gonna move from baritone, like if you're gonna say like, am I a baritone? It's not always about high notes. People focus on high notes, but to be a baritone, to sing a lot of these baritone roles, you need to have power on like a mid A or B flat.
Wait a minute. He switched to what? He switched
from
to
baritone up to tenor, and it wasn't the high notes that led him there as much as not having the power in the middle, which is true. When you get older as a baritone, people talk more about your middle than they talk about your top. At least to me.
That's a cool indicator. I didn't know that.
I didn't think about that, but I've had that experience as a baritone.
I love when people write in.
Yeah.
I love when people write in and tell us this kind of stuff. This is exactly the sort of thing where people, I said this before, this is exactly the sort of thing where people might be going through something, like going through a vocal change, and then they're like, what is going on? And then they hear something like this, where somebody was doing the same thing, and then they're like, oh, well, maybe I should try that.
Yeah, and for a lot of baritones, unlocking the middle voice or developing the middle voice often unlocks the high notes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A big part of baritone is the middle. Like, yeah, the arias have high notes, but if you look at Verdi and this stuff, a lot of it's in D flat, and it's all about the power you have on a B flat or a D flat.
Yeah.
Or like an E flat. All these Verdi arias end on a big E flat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which you gotta have the right color and strength on that note.
Yeah,
you know what I
totally.
mean? And if maybe you're always saying like, damn, I wish this was a little bit higher.
So he
you
did
might
this,
be a tenor.
he did this 3 years ago?
3 years ago he switched.
Does he say anything else? How it's been going so far then?
Let me see. I'm definitely not the kind of singer that's into the whole I just followed my voice, it guided me, but in a way, that's exactly what it did. You know what I mean?
It's funny. We talked about this before. I recently went through something also where I had to follow my voice. It was not exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. It's just kind of what the voice wanted to do. You're right. It does sound cliche to say that, right?
Yeah.
And that's why he wants to stay with it. There's away from it. There's a strong impetus to stay away from cliche, and that's right. But sometimes, stereotypes exist for a reason often, and that stereotype of following your voice where it leads is actually right because your voice changes over time. I talked about this once before. I don't know if I mentioned this once before, right? But I mentioned it to you, I remember, personally. I said, do you know that your cells replace themselves, right?
Yeah.
And every 8 or so years, every cell in your body, every cell except for, I think they said with the exception of some brain cells, right? Every cell in your body is completely replaced with different cells, which means that
you're literally a different person.
You are literally, physically, a different fucking person than you were 8 years ago.
Keep an open mind.
Why would you expect your voice to be exactly the same if you can't even say it's physically the same voice?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, and something interesting he said here too is he said, after a few months of trying tenor rep, it was obvious that that's where my voice sounded best.
Yeah.
And that's something you have to think about, is because there's a lot of bass baritones or basses that can sing high baritone rep or can even sing tenor rep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all about where your voice sounds the best.
My old coach used to say, find what you do best. Find what people will pay you for, and then do that.
Well, because this is an art form, but also this is a marketing thing. You know what I mean? You got to pick your strength, and if you can sing this high stuff, because I can sing some Cavaradossi arias, but it sounds like shit compared to if I stick down to my stuff.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So just find where your voice is comfortable, but also where are you making the best sound? Don't force something. You know.
I can. Same with me.
Mike's got crazy low notes, man.
Dude, I can go.
Don't do it. Yeah, and if you were obsessed with that. Give you a little help down there.
No.
Oh, you're scooping.
I was just.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love that aria.
That's the thing. If you're a bass baritone, you can't just have the low note. You got to have at least an extra 4 notes below it so you can scoop. Okay, that's how it works. Okay. In all honesty, it's a bit of an identity crisis. My career trajectory totally changed, and almost everyone I had sung for before won't take the risk. Right? Which 2 companies have told him. They won't take the risk. You were a baritone for us. Now you want to come back and sing tenor. Nah. That's something people don't talk about, man.
Hey, yeah, that's true. It's true, but God,
and he's got to prove it first. You know what I mean? And so it's a struggle.
Shitty.
That's true. And I know a mezzo that moved up to soprano, and she had the same problem. It's like these connections that know you as a mezzo. When you go back in there and you're like, "Hey, I'm a soprano now," they will be,
and they're like, "Really? Are you?"
Yeah, they need proof. And then you're right back at the beginning of your career again. Like, you need experience. How can I get experience without work? So it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. So he said, let's see.
Dude, I'm about to switch to countertenor, and it's going to be rough.
But once, Mike, you've done enough singing on this podcast, all right? Let me get through this, okay? We can start a radio channel where you can do all the singing you want.
Come on, that was brilliant.
That was good. It took a while to find the teacher, but once I did, the technique was already pretty much there. But singing is singing. Yeah, the basics stay the same when you switch fach. That's also fach. That's something to remember, right?
Yeah,
your voice is your voice. For the most part, singing is singing. Women, men, high, low, for the most part, there's subtle differences, but for the most part, I think
It's
singing is.
Singing is singing.
There's a lot of things that are universal about singing. So, so yeah, he says the hardest part is what the fuck do I do now? So there's a lot of career stuff that happens, but singing is singing. Don't feel like you have to manufacture a sound.
1 second. He said at the end, what the fuck do I do now?
I don't know, man.
Meaning he's...
The hard part has been, okay, what the fuck do I do now after several years of work?
Oh, so he's fought through it. Good for you, dude.
Yeah. Good for you. Thanks so much for writing in, but it's hard. Yeah, he's got a resume full of baritone rep, and now he's going to go to an opera company and be like, I'm a tenor now. That's a hard sell. But you got to stay true to who you are, and if that's the path your voice takes, you got to fucking do it. I'm sorry, even if it's hard. Sorry.
I think maybe one of the better things you can do, if you have the luxury of doing something like this, is finding somebody in a position of power that knows you, that likes you, that understands that you're a good artist, and that you're just going through a change, and gives you a small opportunity at first.
You're kind of starting over,
a tiny foot in the door.
You're kind of starting over. Yeah.
That's tough. I don't wish that on anybody.
That's tough, but you got to be true to what you are.
Yeah.
And it's not just, and these fach changes are not just baritone to tenor, mezzo to soprano. It's also, people go from lyric stuff to dramatic stuff as they get older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. If you're singing Avant de quitter ce lieu, like this famous French baritone high aria, and you get older and it starts to not be as easy as it was, you might be moving down. Or if you thought your whole 20s you were a dramatic bass baritone, but as you get older, the Figaro and the lighter things start working for you, you might want to follow that instead of forcing your voice somewhere it doesn't want to go. All right, we got to move on because this is kind of getting long. We're going to do it just the tip.
Oh, give me the tip. Give it to me.
Oh, yeah. Just the tip.
That was dirty, man. All right, why don't you open these beers?
Dude, do you want to? I mean, I'm fucked. Dude.
Open one, man. We can.
All right.
It's only 10:30, man. Don't be a pussy, Mike. Open the beer. That was real OperaBro right there when I said that. All right. Okay, so we got an email.
Wait. Let's introduce the beer first.
All right, this is
oh my God.
Yeah.
Handgebrauter Barrel-Aged Bock aus unserer badischen Braumanufaktur.
So this is Bourbon Barrel
Bock.
And it says it was
Fassgereifter Bockbier Cuvée.
They put it in a bourbon barrel for 3 months with
awesome
rum tequila.
And you're gonna fuck me up today.
Yeah, you're the one that suggested these Bailey's
today.
coffees, man.
I know.
Mike gets real singy when he's drunk, so I apologize, everybody. All right.
Just the tip.
Okay, so we had someone write in, and this is kind of an important thing. So
all of our write-ins are important. Everybody's important.
yeah, but this is an important thing to bring up. So I want to take this seriously. Okay, so let's take a breath and let's focus. Ready?
If I can.
Okay. Dear Jared and Mike, and he wrote in through the website where you can be anonymous, right? So I got no idea who the fuck this guy is. I'm a brand new listener to the podcast, and I absolutely love it. You guys bring such a chill take to the show, and I dig it.
Nice.
I'd love to know what you both think about the young artist program fad that's all the rage these days. And I mean the entire process, because honestly, I think the young artist program cottage industry is a fucking scam.
Did he say fucking scam?
He said fuggin', actually, with 2 G's.
That's okay. We can translate.
I'm gonna read it how I want, okay? They don't know your name, so these are my fucking words.
This is your artistic interpretation.
In no other professional whatsoever do you have to pay a fee simply to apply for a job. Also, why do almost none of these programs give their singers real roles in an opera? And I don't want to hear this. Without these application fees, you wouldn't be able to hear nearly as many singers bullshit. If you're not good enough to be heard for free, are you really good enough to have a serious career in the first place? There are also the cramped audition rooms with shitty acoustics, and people think you sound the same in a theater as you do in that small room. It also seems that it's all the same people getting into all the same programs and doing all the same competitions.
Okay, there was a lot to unpack there, dude.
Yeah, but it's pretty much the same thing. Okay.
Except, wait. There was one thing. I don't know. Do you have an order in which you want to go about this?
I'm just going to take what he said and kind of reduce it. Because basically... hold on, let me try to find the email here. I just fucking
because there was one thing that stood out to me as being a tiny bit inconsistent with it. He's right on a lot of things, but there was one thing where he said, if you're good enough to have an opera career, then you should be good enough to be heard for free.
Mm.
What that means,
Yeah.
the practical application of something like that would be, and I'm just playing devil's advocate,
Yeah,
and,
sure,
thinking
sure.
through something, is that then they would say, all right, then we're going to hear far fewer people.
Yeah.
And the people who are on the edge of something, who just want that chance,
Yeah.
won't be heard then.
Mm.
For instance, right? I might never have then been heard for any young artist. But I didn't do really any young artist programs in America. I just came straight to Germany and started that way. But a Spieltenor, a character tenor voice in America isn't as valued in the young artist programs as it is here.
Not at all, man.
And that means that I would have been left out of that process, despite the fact that I'm having a career now.
Yep.
So it seems that in saying if you don't have a good voice good enough to have an opera career, you shouldn't have to pay. Well, the thing is, they might then just say, well, we're not going to hear these sorts of voices, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to discount everything that he said because a lot of it is solid gold. I totally agree with him.
No, a lot of it's gold, but a lot of it also is a bit idealistic. So I have to separate this into a few things.
Okay, do it.
One, to the writer that wrote in, you're talking about American young artist programs.
That's right.
Which is half of the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like in the world of opera, right? In Germany, it's illegal to charge audition fees, but they also hear a lot less people. It is purely a lot fewer. Sorry, it's a countable noun. So you hear a lot fewer people, and so as a result of that, it's all application based, right? So that is a difference between the two systems. But also the thing is you have to ask yourself, why are you doing a young artist program? And that's also something I think a lot of students don't understand, because what the selling point is, or what people think they're getting, is training, right? I'm going to go and I'm going to get training. No, actually, the strength of a young artist program is connections. And it's like that in every industry in the world. It's like that if you're fucking babysitting or dog walking. That's human nature.
Yeah.
People do not want a singer to come onto a stage cold, even if you rock it. How can they know that you're not just having an amazing one in a million day?
Yeah.
They need proof. And the bigger names, the better schools, the better training programs you have attached to your name, you will have an easier time. It is not the only way. It is not the only way, but it will often fast track your career by 7 or 8 years. Yeah? There's a lot of shit and small gigs and stuff you won't have to do if you have that big yap on your resume.
Yeah, that's true.
So you are not always necessarily putting the time in and paying for the experience. Because he said the role thing is what I'm talking about. He said, you know, because the trend from American young artist programs is often, you kind of sing chorus and you get training and you do the outreach shit. You know, go sing to those kids, go sing at that thing. In Germany, it's different. In Germany, you are almost immediately on the main stage, and their goal is to get you singing big roles on the main stage, and then you have a lifelong connection with that theater.
Yeah, but let me bring up my my hometown again, Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Opera has a good young artist program, and those guys sing. Those people sing in their productions. I mean, it's not always true that you don't sing in productions and young artist programs in America.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the big ones because I did the Opera Theater of Pittsburgh.
No, not Opera Theater of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Opera.
Yeah,
their young artist program.
Yeah, I did the Opera Theater of Pittsburgh young artist program 15 years ago, and we were every major role, Zarastro, Tamino. It was all young artists.
Right.
But I'm saying at Houston Grand, you're not going to sing Tamino if you're in the young artist.
Do you know there
program.
are two different opera companies in Pittsburgh?
I do.
Right.
I do. I've worked with both of them.
The other one.
Pittsburgh Opera, yes.
The Pittsburgh Opera, that one also. Yes. I mean, they did this this one opera about the Pittsburgh Grays, right? It was a new opera, and they gave it to the young artists.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about being able to sing something cool, sing some new opera, and that's... I'm just saying it's not always the case that you never sing.
There is a case-by-case thing, but something that is very hard to learn when you come from... Because it's a hard career, because you come from high school and you sing and everyone's like, oh, that's fucking amazing. And in college, you have these artistic ideals, but it's a fucking business. If you want to make art for free, you can do it. You can do it. But if you want a big career defined as singing on big stages,
Yeah.
then you have to view it more like a business in terms of connections, strategies. I know people that are singing at the top, and a lot of those people did not do it by accident.
Right.
They had a plan that they laid out and executed over 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
People do this. They say, I need that young artist program that will get me to there. I meet that person that will get me that connection that will lead me there. They literally do it like this. You, of course, have to have the goods. If you're going to climb like that, you have to have the package. But the point of young artist programs, sorry to say, is not only fucking training.
That's true. No, it's true. It's funny. This is a different direction than I thought you were going to go in. But I agree. I totally agree with your direction. I want to stress, though, that when it comes to an audition, in the end, yeah, people are definitely going to look at your background, but I had almost no background when I won my first audition. You know?
Yeah.
I went in there and executed on that day, and that's why I got that audition.
Yeah, but you had a good school in your resume.
Yeah, I did, but no. The Germans don't give a fuck about that.
People know that school.
Yeah, they do, but they did not give a fuck about that. On that day, I was what they were looking for, and I sang the repertoire the right way, right?
Yeah, and you're a great performer, you're a great auditioner, but
Thank you.
it also might have been a timing thing.
It was absolutely a timing
Had that
thing.
not worked out, you might have had a harder struggle.
That I definitely would have had a harder struggle. What was I going to tell you? What is that one quote about being prepared when the opportunity? Luck is being prepared when the opportunity shows itself.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to have that luck, but you always have to be prepared as if at any given time the best door of your life is going to go open, and then you have to be prepared to walk through that.
Yes. The luck is getting the opportunity, but when the opportunity comes, you have to be able to fucking deliver. He also talked about these like shitty situations, like singing in the bathroom and stuff. Look, that's all the boot camp of becoming a singer.
Yep.
And the thing is these people that audition you and listen to you, I would not underestimate how much they can see and hear by the way you walk into the room.
Right.
Right? I mean, it's something you don't really understand unless you've been on that side of the table and you watch 100 singers come in and sing for you.
Right.
Right? Which, if you ever have an opportunity to sit in auditions, even if you don't have like a judgment power, do it. Even if you have to sneak in the back door,
Definitely.
watch people audition. Because in Germany, a lot of the experiences I've had auditioning is they have you stand on the side of the stage, so you stand in the wings and you watch people. And you look at their resume and you see where they're from. And then you start to, over time, see the differences of like, okay. You know what I mean? And
Do you know what I just...
they're experts, these people that audition you.
You know what I just realized?
What?
So in schools in America, they do mock auditions, right?
Yeah.
Useful in their own way, right? But they're not actual auditions.
No.
The fear that's in your heart, right?
No.
Is not exactly the same.
No.
And what I realized is, in school, anytime you have to do an audition, like an honest-to-God audition,
Yeah.
they should also be providing the teachers should be providing detailed feedback for you as well. If they're not giving you a review, this is a critique on teachers.
Yeah,
also.
sure.
Then they need to maybe rethink what they're how they're educating the children, or not the children, the young people, because that's a prime opportunity to let somebody know, hey, you can't walk out like a mouse on stage.
No.
You got to own that shit the moment you get out there.
Yeah, and also it's just the way you carry yourself. So much of communicating to somebody is subconscious, you know what I mean? And I'm sorry, but this process of warming up in the shitty bathroom, right? This process of riding the train for 8 hours, sleeping in a fucking hostel, standing in the rain, struggling to find the room. These are all the qualities they want to make sure that you have nailed
Dude,
down.
how much time do we have?
We're at 58 minutes.
Great. Can I talk about it? So I recently did an audition.
Mike,
Can
this
I
could
talk
be
about
this could be
a bit?
90 minutes, okay? People can shut it off.
All right. Fine.
We bend to the will of no one. All right.
Let me talk about this audition that I did recently. Yeah, really interesting.
Like last night.
like yesterday, like fucking yesterday. I had a nice experience, and it was a nice experience for a couple reasons. The one that is really
pet the
interesting.
microphone.
Oh, it's so nice.
Mike, we can hear that.
The one that was really good for me was when I was sitting in this room, right? I had all this time to myself. And when you have time to yourself, it can be dangerous if you can't find the right mental state.
Yeah,
because
too
you
much
can
time
wallow.
before an audition is as bad as not enough. So.
And when I was sitting there, what hit me all of a sudden was I was like, man, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is I get to, no matter what happens from this audition, I am standing here in this opera house about to sing for these people. It's just fucking cool. It's cool, and it calmed me.
Yeah, but that's the most powerful mentality you can get in, is that not that I need this job and I'm desperate and this is the next step, and if I blow this, will I ever get another chance? That's a bad mental state to be in when you audition. But the fact that I'm going to go on stage and I'm going to sing the shit I love in a famous or a big opera house or whatever for people, and who cares if they say no?
You actually taught me this a little bit, right? Because with the one audition where, remember when we ended up in Chemnitz the one day?
Yeah.
So that audition didn't excuse me. That audition didn't go so well for me, right? And you said, "Yeah, but Mike, you got to stand on that opera stage and actually produce tone. That opera stage where all those people have sung before you."
Yeah.
I never thought about that before.
No, and that's a better mentality to get in. Is I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to make this audition about me and not about them.
Yeah.
Be fucking selfish, you know what I mean? But I know you might want to talk more about it, but I just want to wrap up the Young Artist Program thing.
Sure, please.
Try to see a big picture about this stuff, but I'm not saying that you don't get excellent training in Young Artist Programs. You do get amazing training, but you can also get amazing training not being in a Young Artist Program. Young Artist Program is not the only path, but it often is the better choice if you have the power to control it.
Yeah.
But if you don't do the Young Artist Program because of life reasons, people get married, people get divorced, people have no money, people start late. There's a lot of reasons you might not have done a Young Artist Program. Maybe it just took you a little longer to get your voice in check.
Right.
There's different paths. Also, I'll say this. Mike and I were talking about this the other day. When you start to get in your 30s and 40s, all the differences of the people that did Juilliard or the Lindemann program and then people that just went to state schools, those differences shrink and shrink and shrink. And as you get closer to 40, the people that are still in the business, they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
Remember that? We talked about that.
Yep.
These differences are bigger at the beginning of your career, but the longer you're in the career, the more it doesn't fucking matter what you did in your 20s. But it will make your 20s either, and people quit singing in their 20s.
Yeah.
So think about that. Anyway, do you want to talk more about your audition, man?
Well, the only other thing I want to say that I noticed was, and excuse me.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, that was that phlegm was right on the chords. The only other, I mean, I haven't mentioned where it is or where it was or anything like that, so it's safe, I guess. There was one soprano that was there, right? And she auditioned.
Yeah.
She was noticeably nervous before the audition, right?
Sure.
Didn't talk.
Sure.
I'm a person who, I fucking bullshit with people. I like getting... Man, we're all out there doing the same thing. It's hard. I don't wish any failure on anybody else. The people who are there, even if they're going after my own thing, I sympathize with them hard.
Yeah.
They're about to go through a fucking audition. If they win, so be it. Good for them, you know? But I honestly want them to do a good job.
Yep.
I want this person to do a good job, right? And that's why I like to talk to people beforehand, right? That's not for everybody, but I got to say this.
Yeah.
This girl was very nervous and very okay, good, and then, controlled everything and didn't talk to anybody, and just was really on edge.
Neurotic, yeah.
Went, sang, did a beautiful job. I want to compliment her here on the air. She did a beautiful job.
Right.
Afterwards, though, it was clear that she was interested in talking to people. Clear that she wanted to talk to me and the other people, right? If I could, I don't want to give her tips because she's a professional out there doing her shit, but I just want to say, try it beforehand.
Yeah.
Talking to somebody and just because it can soothe you. It can just let some of this
Everybody
stuff
has,
out.
yeah. I know what you mean.
And I'm saying it only because it's a path. We think we know what we want to, what we have to do beforehand, right?
Right.
But that's often at the exclusion of every other possibility. And what I found, just take it, maybe somebody could use my experience for something. I found that once you break that wall, once you break that tension, then it's just, it's the same thing with what I mentioned earlier with if you can have a moment of, man, look at where I am.
Yeah, sure.
This Steinway piano, this beautiful Steinway piano sitting right there.
Right.
And I'm in a place that has had all these opera singers. This is amazing. I'm
Right.
so fucking lucky to even be here. If you can have one of those moments and then like bullshit with somebody, you are in a completely different free place.
Yeah, and everybody has different needs, of course, but you got to think about when do I do my best? And you got to recreate that for yourself as much as you can. And for me, it's when I'm in a rehearsal process after I've gotten to know everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, we just like went to the bar last night. We wake up. It's like, hey, man, how was breakfast? It was good. Thanks. All right, let's sing. And then you just go. That's when I do my best.
Yeah, totally.
When I feel supported and I feel like there's a group of people.
Yep.
So if you can create that for yourself at an audition, that's good. Some people might need the nerves or the neurotic stuff or I don't know. You got to be honest for yourself, but
Ask yourself for real though if you need it.
Yeah, but make the audition about you. Go out there and like definitely do it for you. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And don't lose touch of why you got into this. You go out there and make art. And
Yeah,
that's
give a
easier said than done. But a lot of what you do leading up to it is gonna affect that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to say about it?
No, dude, let's wrap this shit up.
That's episode 16. Hope you enjoyed the Halloween episode.
I enjoyed it. God damn, was that fun.
Yeah, so next we're moving on to episode 17. Write us in.
Is that what comes after 16?
Fuck you. There's nothing special. I don't know. So go to the website. Like I said, there's a contact page. Write us anonymously. You don't need any sort of reason. If you just got a fucking crazy story you want to get out there, get it out there. If you got a question, if you
yeah, crazy stories. Writing some crazy stories.
Crazy stories are good. We've gotten one or two, but like more than that, if you know more about what we're talking about than we're talking about,
Yep.
write in. Mike and I, this is a platform for everybody, right? I love like when we post something on Instagram and people in the comments start talking to each other. I fucking love it.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
the point of
that
this.
gets me going.
If you know more about what we do, anything we talked about today with fach change, or you have an argument against what we said, let us hear the other side. Mike and I are very similar people.
Yeah, true.
If you come from a different background, you live in a different country, write us in.
That's right. We want the marketplace of ideas here.
Yes.
We want
the website
plurality.
is anonymous.
Yeah.
So just do it.
By the way, another thank you to the man who wrote in about the voice change. I thought that was really interesting about noticing the middle voice.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, "Oh, I can sing these fucking high notes. Maybe I'm a tenor."
It's very insightful.
It was very insightful.
Most of a role is not the high notes.
Yeah.
And that's most of what people are listening to. So you got to put your voice where it sounds best. All right, everybody. That's it for us today. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
And go fuck yourselves.
No.
Love you guys. Bye.